Are you guys there? Okay. Hey, now we're going to do part 3 of lesson 2. All right. I want you to review for the test. We're going to have a big test. All right. I want you to remember that here's things we're going to go over. That instance of a class is an object, documentation view, compile, how to compile and error messages, review the method definition versus a method call. All right. So this is a handout. Grab this handout. Write this note on the handout. All right. So what is this and what is this? So this is a class. It's like a blueprint, right? It's a Java code. It's like how do you build a Ferrari? How do you build a crab, right? And when you make one, it's an object. So it's an object is an instance of a class, right? So you make one from the blueprints. So the example is, this represents the crab class. This is the Java code inside there, right? When I right click it and then say I make one, I put it in here, that's the object. So this is the class, this is the instance of the class. This is the class definition, this is an object, okay? All right, so don't forget that there's a couple things that you can do. Let's go to get to the documentation. So let's open up our project. So if we want to go look at animal, there's the source code. We can actually look at the Java code, or we can look at the documentation view where it shows you all the methods that are available to anybody who is an animal. Okay. And then it has some more details about them down here that you can kind of use this information to help you use these methods, right? Okay, another thing you can do, by the way, is you can go help and you can go to Greenfoot class documentation. You can go to click on tree. And if you want to know anything about an actor, because crab is also an actor, here's some other things you can get as well, right? So here's all the methods that our crab can do because he is an actor. And so basically that's just another way to get more information about the methods, okay? All right, where'd we go? Okay. Okay, so the compile process and error messages. So let's talk about that a little bit. So we'll review that for the test. All right, so if I go into my little Krabby, right? So you know I can hey, I want him to move again. Okay, so if I compile it, it's going to convert this Java language that hopefully you're starting to understand into machine language that the computer understands, right? So if I make a mistake, it can't compile it, like, right? If I make a mistake, it's not going to convert this into machine language, because what's it going to convert it into? It doesn't understand it. So if I compile it and it doesn't understand it, it gives me error messages, and those are super nice because somebody is like, hey, we're not positive this code. We know this is no good, but we think you might need a semicolon there. So sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not as helpful. But those error messages, somebody spent an awful lot of time like programming it to try to give you hints on what's going wrong. Back in the old days, you wouldn't even get error messages. It just wouldn't compile, and you'd have to like try to figure out like, okay, why won't this thing compile? So even though the error messages are annoying because it means you made a mistake, they're actually quite helpful. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I'm going to have you read the rest on your own. Please read. I gave these to you in your notes. Read through these on your own, and hopefully they're helpful. What I am going to do is I want you to. I'm going to add this right now. I'm going to hit pause on this and add this. I can't pause it. I'm struggling. Okay, so I want you to read through this and write down one question about the summary. Okay? Read through this, write down one question about the summary. And read through this and write down one question about the summary. All right, so this was a short chapter. So the next thing you're going to do is, so you're going to turn in your notes, get ready for the test, and you're going to go on to the platform jumper part 2, I believe, but ask the teacher what to do. All right, thanks, guys.